Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Kentucky's lieutenant governor is resigning to take a position under the president. The state's new second-in-command is a longtime political figure.
A car overturns into a Woodford County creek and an officer sees the whole thing.
We have a few showers rolling through the region right now. And guess what? A few more will be diving southbound out of Indiana, rolling right through our neck of the woods and drop those temperatures too. I'll show you how low we go overnight because it gets really chilly. And that forecast comes up. WKYT News at Noon starts right now.
And good afternoon to you. A busy day at WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. We start with developing news out of the state capitol. Lieutenant Governor Jerry Abramson has announced he's stepping down from his position in Frankfort.
Governor Steve Beshear has appointed former state auditor Crit Llewellyn to take over as lieutenant governor. She will be taking office next Thursday. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Frankfort with more on what's next for Abramson and our top story at noon. Mark?
Noon, Bill and Barbara. Jerry Abramson announced that he is stepping down as a lieutenant governor next Thursday to become a deputy assistant to President Barack Obama for intergovernmental affairs. Abramson says in his new position, he will be the liaison between the White House and local and state governments on domestic issues like public transportation, job training, minimum wage, and affordable housing. He believes his 3 decades of experience working with those policy issues at the local and state level are why he has been appointed to Obama's cabinet. Governor Steve Beshear says he believes having a Kentuckian in the West Wing could help secure more funding for important issues at home, like childhood education. Now, taking Abrams' place is a well-known political figure, Crit Llewellyn. She is the former state auditor. She doesn't believe she will be taking on any new or separate initiatives. Llewellyn says she will just continue supporting the governor as best as she can. Now, Abramson tells us that he will hit the ground running when he starts working under the president next week.
He's asked me to be a part of his domestic agenda. The team that's going to be working with mayors and county officials and governors. To head that up is very, very exciting. You know, it's tough to leave Kentucky. It's tough to leave my hometown.
Now, Abramson says when he was contacted by White House leaders about 2 months ago, he was torn at first. He didn't know if he wanted to accept this position or not because he considers Kentucky his home. But he says after he considered it, he realized that he just couldn't miss an opportunity to sit at a policy table with Obama. He will be leaving the position here as lieutenant governor and accepting his new role next Thursday at 5 p.m. Live here in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. And when asked if the heavy Democratic losses in the election of Tuesday may have had anything to do with the appointment, Abramson said, quote, "This is an amazing opportunity, regardless of how the president is doing in the polls." We have more information about Kentucky's next lieutenant governor now. Crit Llewellyn is 62 years old and is a Frankfort native. Her career in politics began 40 years ago when she worked for Governor Wendell Ford's campaign for the U.S. Senate. Llewellyn is a long-term fixture in state politics. She's worked for 6 different Kentucky governors, and she was elected in her own right as state auditor in 2003 and again in 2007. In April, she announced she would not run for governor in 2015 and would not likely hold a public office again.
A man is recovering this midday after crashing his car into a central Kentucky creek overnight. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning off Old Frankfort Pike in Woodford County. That's near the Fayette County line. Police say the driver rounded a curve too quickly and flipped into the water. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel has reaction from an officer who saw the crash and rushed to help. Whitney?
Police say a driver lost control of his car on this bridge, flipped over the railing, and landed right into the creek below.
Yeah, I was out in the area on patrol, observed a vehicle coming around the corner at a high rate of speed, left the roadway, and went down the embankment.
Just before 1 o'clock this morning, a Versailles police officer saw a driver round a curve too quickly and flip into South Elkhorn Creek. This happened on Old Frankfort Pike, close to the Fayette County line. The officer was stationed on the other side of the bridge when he saw what happened. He immediately radioed for help and then went into the creek. The officer talked to the driver to calm him down while waiting for emergency crews to get there.
Just to get people here as quickly as I could, get on the radio and let people know and get the county fire and the EMS here, which they came in quickly to the scene and were able to help extricate the individual.
Police say the driver was taken to UK hospital. He did not have any life-threatening injuries. In Woodford County, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
And besides speed, police believe the weather may have also played a factor in this accident. Police are still looking for the driver involved in a similar crash in Lexington overnight. A man and woman were inside a truck that crashed into a creek off Cambridge Drive around 3:30 this morning. Both managed to get out safely. Police say the woman first tried to say she was carjacked, but later admitted that her boyfriend was driving drunk.
The search is on this afternoon for suspects behind a string of burglaries in southern Kentucky. At least 5 people in the Lilly community told police that they have come home from work to find that their homes have been broken into. This happened yesterday afternoon. The homes were all along Highway 552 in the Lilly area of Laurel County. Crimes all happened apparently right there in broad daylight. The thieves took guns, electronics, medications, and some silver is also missing from some of the homes. Police have no suspects, and they're asking for help from the public. Anyone who saw anything suspicious in that area of southern Laurel County should contact police. They want to hear from you. A former basketball standout from Louisville is accused of stealing from a Verizon store. A TV station in Huntsville, Alabama, reporting that Dominique Tilford and 3 others were arrested after a short chase. Police say they are charged with burglary and theft. Tilford was named Mr. Basketball in Kentucky in 2005 as a player at Jeffersontown High School, and he went on to play a year at the University of Cincinnati before transferring to the University of South Alabama.
Police are hoping that someone will come forward with information on a recent string of arsons in central Kentucky. All the fires happened in the McKinney community of Lincoln County over the course of 2 days. State police say the fires set at 4 different homes were all chosen at random. The arson task force is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in these cases. A fugitive charged with crimes in 5 Kentucky counties is behind bars this midday. Randolph Boswell was arrested in Laurel County. He's accused in a dozen crimes that range from writing cold checks to scamming the elderly. Investigators say he and several other people posed as contractors to dupe people out of thousands of dollars. Boswell faces charges in Rowan, Harlan, Carter, McCreary, and Pulaski counties.
A 4th person has now been indicted in a Lexington murder case. The Herald Leader reports that Damian Sanders, a juvenile, is now charged with second-degree manslaughter in the death of Antonio Franklin. The 21-year-old was shot to death at Duncan Park back in April. 3 other juveniles have also been indicted in the case. Brian Brown, Nasheen Dixon, and William Dixon will all be tried as adults. Police say Franklin was an innocent bystander caught in the crossfire of a gun battle between 2 rival groups. We're holding on to a few showers this afternoon. Some chilly temperatures are in the forecast, though, as we head toward the weekend. We could even see a flake or 2 of snow flying in the air. Let's check in with WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris.
And we're looking on Defender outside, and what we're seeing is a couple of showers over toward the east, and that's one batch of rain. Then you're going to get another batch as we head toward the afternoon hours. That's going to be our secondary batch. It's going to be rolling on through. Just showers, though. I'm not looking at thunderstorm action, well, at least not most of it. And look, if you travel down 23 over toward Johnson County and work your way into Lawrence County, that's going to be the zone in the next couple of hours that you continue to see a few showers filter out of Morgan and also Elliott counties. Now, kind of get a wider out view of what we're going to be seeing. And look, a lot of that spin, that's your low pressure system. It's going to be funneling in a lot of these showers into the region later on. So expect some spotty hit and miss rain as we work our way into the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures are in the 50s, and it looks to be there. It may be dropping a few degrees, right around 50 degrees, some in the upper 40s throughout the rest of the day. Go in toward tomorrow, it gets even colder, and I'll show you how cold we get coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, if we dare watch, we'll see you just a little bit there, Micah, with that. Well, a Cincinnati Bengals player has extra motivation for tonight's game.
Defensive tackle Devin Still's 4-year-old daughter, Leah, will be cheering him on in person for the first time when the Bengals host the Cleveland Browns at Paul Brown Stadium on Thursday Night Football. Leah is battling a rare form of cancer, and her story has captivated the nation. Still picked her up from the airport in northern Kentucky yesterday. There you see it. The Bengals are donating proceeds from the sale of his jersey to Cincinnati Children's Hospital for cancer treatment and research. After the first quarter of the game, the team will present a check for more than $1 million, and that, of course, is going to be with Leah's help. So extra motivation.
Absolutely.
Very sweet story. A college freshman who lived out her dream of playing basketball is now on the cover of the Wheaties box. 19-year-old Lauren Hill has brain cancer, and doctors say she only has weeks to live. The Layups for Lauren's Twitter page posted this picture of Lauren posing with her likeness. She scored the first basket for Mount St. Joseph College and won at the very end of the game last weekend in Cincinnati.
An unforgettable moment for sure.